Hello and welcome to another episode of It Came From the Page. And yes, you read that right. It is a book haul. I've not done a book haul in a while, and guess what? I'm not going to be doing them for a while. So I have made the very poor life decision, which is to participate in the 100 book challenge, which is where you read 100 books that you own. It's called the Read What You Own Challenge, but I'm doing it as I'm doing my own thing a little bit. I'll explain in a second. But I decided to take up the challenge where I have to read 100 books before I spend money on books again. Basically, I've been spending a lot of money on books, but I still want to keep up to date with things. So using Libby and a book that I get from the library, if I read it, I didn't spend any money. That's what I care about more than just reading only what you own kind of thing. I think it's, I still want to support my local libraries. The only things that will be exempt from this is I do get a few comic books, and I have a pull list at my local comic book store. And if you don't know about comic book stores, it's very rude to take money away from them because they are not doing as well as they used to. So I want to keep that local comic book store alive. And again, I'm not really spending too much money on that. It's more of the fact that I have been buying way more than I could read, and I need to get some money and savings built up. And the easiest way to do that is to stop buying a bajillion books. I'm doing the 100 book challenge, but my version is just without paying. Ebooks count and audiobooks count, as always, bitch. So without further ado, here's the last book haul I'll have in a while. And because I was like, I'm going to be doing this, I went ham a little bit. Some of these are months old. A bunch of these are also little free libraries, so just, keep that in mind. There was money spent, but it's not as much as you're thinking when you look at the amount of books I'm about to show you. I'm also starting it this right now. I'm starting it November 1st. This is probably the 100 book challenge for me, probably about 5 months. Every time I break the challenge, because we all know I will, I'm not going to stop doing it. If I buy a book, I then have to read 2 more books before buying anything new. So the only books that I will be breaking anything for is if I'm in a thrift store and I find something super rare. I'm obviously not going to pass up a pristine copy of a very rare paperback from hell, right? So, but if I do buy one of those, I just have to add 2 to anything that I used to break. So. Without further ado, let's get into this. So I was at my local Value Village, and I was amazed that somebody gave out a whole bunch of Horus Heresy books. So Descent of Angels and The Legion. I've actually read this in audio. It was very good. And then The Legion as well. This is Legion. This is Dan Abnett. This is a really good book. But this one I actually have not read. This is one of the earliest books in the Horus Heresy series. And I kind of skipped past a few of the ones that I was told was not as essential when I was going through the thing. So I'm going to go back and read this actually this month. Probably not this week, but this month I'm going to be planning to read this. So I'm excited. And they also had... It's already falling apart. This is amazing. Everything is already falling apart. How did that even happen? It's like my literal life. They also had this copy as well, the 1,000 Suns. And this is a book I own digitally, but it's actually my favorite Horus Heresy novel so far. So I like just being able to go back and physically reread portions of this book because I really, really liked it. And it's a lot easier to go find a book. To find a chapter and find some stuff when you're doing a physical look through versus doing it on a Kindle. It's just a lot less typing things in and looking it out. So I'm definitely going to reread this because I really like this book. But yeah, that's the other one that I found there. There's going to be a lot of Warhammer stuff. Please don't judge me. You can actually. You judge me all you want. This is Chateau Point, which is a novelization of a Warhammer board game. It's the second one that's capturing Battlefield Gothic, which is this board game. And you know me, always into tie-ins and novelizations, and also the only novelizations that I end up really having a good time with that were video game related were for Warhammer. So gotta give them that. Some more novelizations because I am doing a Patreon reading event this month. Please feel free to join me at patreon.com. For $3 a month, you get all things you get for everyone else's, but you don't have to pay as much. But the quality is significantly less, so you get what you pay for. I'm about worth $3 a month, but not any more than that. So if you're interested to join up on that readathon, look into my the Patreon below. But I got a Judge Dredd video game novelization. I can't imagine this is good, but I'm going to read this. It's actually done by the same author who wrote this one, which is how I even knew this book existed. I've never even played the game. Judge Dredd is interesting. This is a Star Wars Galaxies video game tie-in book. If you don't know what that is, Star Wars Galaxies was a early 2000s multiplayer online game, which you literally cannot play anymore because the servers are all gone. Actually, I think somebody, like, there's, like, you can do it, but you have to go, like, there's, like, a fan circle that, like, created their own versions to keep the books alive, but that keeps the servers alive, so you can do it, but it's not publicly available anywhere. You have to, like, go online and have to do a bunch of shit and stuff like that, so it's a bit complicated. And I was like, what? They made a video game tie-in book for that? Obviously, I have to read that. Literally the exact same story, but for Warhammer Fantasy. This is Forged by Chaos, which is a novelization of the Warhammer multiplayer online game. I'm just making terrible life choices and buying things that nobody should buy. Next up is a book. This is like Animal Attack book that I almost always buy it, and I was taking an order for thrift books, which I'm gonna lose my literati status. Oh my god, this event, this book buying ban is going to take so much from me, but it's fine. I bought this. I've been meaning to buy this for a while. It's an Animal Attack books, and it's by Playboy Press. So this is like a pretty good condition for what it is. And it's basically like, yeah, bunch of animals. They attack. And I'm like, good for you, animals. Good for you. More Warhammer, Lords of Blood. This is an omnibus, which means it actually has 3 novels in it. And by the way, for the 100 book challenge, yes, if I read this, I'm counting it as 3 books, bitch. Get off my case. But yeah, I really like the author, Guy Haley, and I have been painting my small collection of Space Marines to look like Blood Angels, because Blood Angels in Warhammer are just the vampires from Twilight. Just leaving that there. They literally are just the vampires from Twilight. Oh my god, where do I put these things? I'm now running out of space. It's fine. Why do you think I'm doing this challenge? Boop, boop. So 2 Stephen King hardcovers that I actually found at a little free library. It was a bitch getting this home because I had a full bag and I was like, well, I'm gonna die. But hey, I got them home. And this is the Stephen King short story collection, Just After Sunset. I have this in paperback. And also his short story collection, Everything's Eventual. Also have in paperback. Looking forward to getting into both of those. I do love me some Stephen King short stories, so excited to get into that. Next up is a series of comics that I actually found at my local dollar store, which is kind of amazing, especially because these are comics that I actually have read before. These are some of my favorite comics, like, ever. I absolutely love these comics, but I have not read... I don't own them physically. I've just read them digitally, but they have, like, awesome artwork, and this is the Kaiju Max series, and they just got, like, such pretty artwork, and it's, like, when it comes to writing kaiju and giant monster tales, American comics are almost always dog shit at it. Like, they're awful. And this one is just amazing. Like, the artwork is great. The character writing is good. It's like a prison story, but it like treats like Monster Island like it's like a giant monster prison. So like there's like cryptid monsters here, but there's also a lot of Godzilla and Ultraman references, and Loomis being in a place he's not supposed to. What are you doing? What are you doing? Ow, ow, ow. Get off of me. Anyways, I got number 1. No, Loomis, no. Down. Get down. Get down. And then I also have book 2, book 3, and book 5. So I'm missing book 4 and 6, but I do own those on... I own those digitally, so I will be able to get that. I think I've actually missed out on completing the entire series. Which, oh God, if I have, I'm going to reread these and want to... Okay, anyways. I don't know if I ever finished this series, but it's really, really quite good. And the writing is excellent. And it's very much a love letter to Godzilla and Ultraman and all of that with this, like, prison concept to it. And it's awesome. It's awesome. I really recommend Kaiju Max if you're looking for a very fun comic. Keep in mind, it is a prison story, so, like, you know, there's some dark stuff in there, but it's pretty great. Next up is just a random one, another one from my dollar store, which is Shadow Road, which is just, it looks like it's like a Old West horror tale by the author Cullen Bunn. I really like Cullen Bunn as an author, so I'm excited to get to that. A Long Arm book. So this is the Long Arm and the Lone Star Vengeance. This is one of the crossovers between Lone Star and Long Arm. I think this is the last one I need because I think I got all the others. So this one is actually completing my giant-sized Long Arm Lone Star collection. I haven't read any of them. Why do I keep buying them? This is why I gotta go in the band so I can read some of these damn books. This is one that I just randomly got in a little free library. I don't know. What is this? Elf quests. I don't know. Good for the elves. You go on a quest, elves. I don't know. You do what you want. Murder at the Movies. This is another one that I'm trying to read for Novelization November. And this actually has a few... novels and a short story in it, and they're all mystery novels and mysteries that take place at the movies. Ba-ba-la-ba. Hollow Places. This is based off of a board game, tabletop RPG like Dungeons and Dragons. In the early 2000s, they made one that was very much X-Files inspired called Dark Matter, and they actually wrote some corresponding books to go with it. I bought the first one because I was just kind of interested in it to see if it sucked or if it was good. Here's one that I got from my little free library, and I know I'm going to hate these. I only have them for a very specific reason. I have more of these, but I didn't bother to get them out of my shelves because I don't like them, and I didn't want to just get all of them. So these are 2 Mac Bolan books. The Executioner. Oh, Mackie Mac Bolan. And you might be like, Andrew, you hate men's adventure and it makes you want to die. Why did you buy these? And I'm like, 1, found these at a little free library. Wouldn't spend a dime on them. 2, so one of the things about the Patreon reading event is that if you read a certain amount of books and you complete one of the bingo boards, like a line and get yourself a bingo, you can recommend me a book. Which is all well and good until I found out Criminale is going hard for Novelization November. So I had to get some books where I'm like, yeah, okay. Criminale is probably going to be like, read some Executioner books or, I don't know, go have an actual men's adventure or something. And it's just like, oh my gosh. There'll be a lot of... Anyways. So I have that as a preemptive... just expectation that Criminale is going to torture me with them. Here is something that's not a torture at all. Both of these are from Kelsi, my bestie Kelsi, from Slime and Slashers, the greatest of all time. We call her the GOAT. Insert the GOAT gif. Can I insert gifs? If I can insert gifs, I'm going to insert the GOAT gif. Regardless, she gave me a very nice package, and they have 2 little cute books in them. One is The Cat Who Loved Christmas. Aww. And then the Basil of Baker Street is the book The Great Mouse Detective is based on. And that's amazing. I love The Great Mouse Detective, my actual favorite Disney movie. So really excited to read this. Thank you, Cassie. She also got me some very nice Cat Fantastique books, but I did already own those. So I've hauled them in another one. But I'm going to use her copies because they're better now. I got this. This is a comic. This is a weird looking comic. But yeah, it's just, Batman versus Predator. I'm rooting for Predator. Batman has his day. Now we're doing the last but not least, but I'm going to do them in a speed round because I know you don't care about them. But these are Andrew's Warhammer Extravaganza. Not that it wasn't already like half Warhammer books, please. Don't judge me. Resting Places, which is Warhammer Horror anthology of short stories. Look at these sprayed edges. Oh my gosh, it's beautiful. Would die for the sprayed edges that are here. Wouldn't actually die for them, but anyways. Here's one that I've read physically. I actually read this for Alex the Bookubus's Scary Sleepover weekend, but this is The Lords of Silence by Chris Wright, which is an awesome book, and I was so happy I found like a physical copy of this at a Value Village, so that's very exciting. Wrath of the Lost, a Flesh Tearers novel. That is more stuff to deal with the Blood Angels, so I guess I'm going hardcore for them, I guess. Not really, they're fascists. Next up, Void King, a Rogue Traders novel. I just love the way this cover looked, and I like the idea. It sounds cool. Once a Killer, a Warhammer crime anthology, and I've not read any Warhammer crime books. I actually have a few, though, so I definitely should be excited to finally get to those. Masters of the Hunt. These are the White Scars. They are the Space Marines who go fast and ride bikes. I just like the way this cover looks. It's very cool. And I was like, yeah, why not? Why not, bitch? The Reward Bearers Omnibus. These guys are very mean. And I like rooting for the villains once in a while. So I'm going to be reading that. And then last, but certainly not least, The God Eater's Son. Because hell yeah, can you imagine if your dad was a God Eater? Hell yeah. Dad, if you're watching this, get on it. Take out God. Eat him. So that I want to be the God's Eater's son. Anyways, it's okay, Dad. You don't have to kill God. So this book just looks cool. So yeah, those are the reason why I'm doing the 100 book challenge. Wish me luck. Or don't if you're mean, I guess. What is the books that you most want me to read? Or what are some books coming out that you want to brag about how you're going to be reading them and I'm not? Anyways, toodaloo.